How to grow rosemary indoors. Rosemary is a fragrant herb that adds tremendous flavor to meat, vegetables, and other dishes. It does fairly well when grown indoors in pots and containers. Propagate rosemary from a mother plant to ensure the best yield. Upon transplanting, the herb needs a lot of light and minimal watering, and it can seem somewhat sensitive until you get these amounts right. Propagating and transplanting. Select a strong, high-quality rosemary plant with recent growth. The quality of the mother plant will determine the quality of the propagated plant. Recent growth indicates that the plant has not grown dormant, so you should be able to spur new growth from a cutting. Snip several 2.5-inch 6 1/3 cm stems from the rosemary. Choose the most recently grown stems, since these have the greatest growing potential. Remove the bottom set of leaves from your cuttings. Use scissors or shears to cut them off. Yanking the leaves off by hand could cause damage. Dip the bottom of each cutting in a little water. The cuttings do not need to soak. They just need to be a little moist. Encourage rooting with a hormone rooting powder. Dip the bottom of each cutting into the powder, immersing it by about 1/4 inch 2/3 cm. Doing so will increase the cutting's odds of taking root. Mix equal amounts of peat moss and perlite in a plastic seedling tray. Other small containers, ranging from pots to plastic cups, can also be used. Fix each cutting into its own container. If using a seedling tray, place one cutting in each separate compartment. Press the cutting down into the growing medium until the exposed stem is completely buried. Do not cover the leaves, however. Moisten the rosemary by misting it with a spray bottle. Do not allow the growing medium to become completely soaked. Continue misting as often as necessary to keep the medium moist to the touch, paying special attention to your plant on dry, sunny days. Prepare the cuttings for transplanting once they take root. This usually occurs within 2 to 4 weeks. If your plant continues to grow after a few weeks have passed, it has likely taken root. Fill a terracotta pot with sterilized potting soil. Select a pot that is at least 3.5 inches 9 centimeters in diameter and depth. Terracotta draws moisture out of the soil faster than plastic. As a result, using a terracotta pot will reduce the risk of overwatering and cut down on occurrences of root rot. An all-purpose soil should work fine most of the time, but do not use standard garden soil. Dirt from your garden could contain pests and diseases that might damage your rosemary. For a more precise soil mix, blend 2 parts potting soil with 1 part sand or perlite to promote better drainage. You can also add 1 teaspoon 5 milliliters of lime juice to a 5-inch 12.7 centimeters pot to increase the soil's alkaline properties. Pinch the top bud. Pinching the top terminal bud increases the likelihood of your rosemary branching. Once the bud develops, literally pinch it out with your fingers or snip it off with a pair of scissors or snips. Removing the bud at the tip of a branch redirects the rosemary's energy to other buds along the sides, leading to more branches and a bushier plant.